one successful one. For every 1,000 useless stories you hear of things not working, there are at least 2 or 3 that are working, and are working very well. We need to amplify the ones working. I'm serious. We need to amplify. We are being drowned by the negativity we hear around. The glory of America are in small businesses, not even the big ones that you hear about. Small businesses doing great things. So when are the small business people going to rise up and take charge of their community? It starts with your community where you are. And that's why GAPS is about communities, where you live. If you cannot affect a community of 100 people, you won't affect a 1 million strong community. I'll share you some personal stories. 2 personal ones. Years ago when I was a doctor in Ife, I was doing my housemanship. Something happened. You know ONG, the labor ward, you deliver babies there. I was the only house officer during my time that was taking delivery of babies. Normally it's the nurses that will handle that. But I didn't just care. I just kept doing what I was doing. I remember when I was living there, the nurses came together, the matrons, and they gave me a send forth and gifts. And you know the reasons for that? They said in all their years of being there, they had not seen a doctor who left his duty and went beyond his limits to do what he was not supposed to do, simply because he wanted to make his patient comfortable. I'll never forget that because it touched me. Okay, but without further ado, let me run to where we are here and not digress. Now, you would see that there's a name on there. Can we go to the slide? It's not my name that's on that board, and there's a reason why. I asked a friend of mine who is a very interesting entrepreneur to prepare these slides, and he obliged me. Why? Because his story continues to amaze me. His company is about 6 years plus in Sapele, Delta State. His name is Tega Tonikari. You can Google him. He runs a company called Academic Journals. Academic Journals is in Sapele, Delta State. They publish online journals. Online academic journals for free. It's called an open access journal. I know what's interesting about him. They employ 200 people in Sapele, Delta State. The business is online. I don't know where will I use to describe Sapele. It's a sleepy town. Nothing happens there. There's no commerce. There's no activity. 200 people got a job and have been earning incredible salary because of someone who left Lagos. He was a call center attendant. He was a customer service agent less than 10 years ago. Today, he's running a thriving business 6 years plus down the line. They have over 200 plus employees all working online. He has a farm. He has 2 newspapers in Warri and Delta State. He's a publisher of Sapele Times and Warri Times. Beyond that, he's an alumnus of Lagos Business School, Harvard Business School, the Chinese European International Business School, and ESA Business School in Madrid. So he's been everywhere. He's the one that should prepare this, not me. So we are privileged to have people contribute that are not even here, do not have the time, but they will support. So can we go on? So if you want to shoot me for the things here, shoot him, not me. Okay. Entrepreneurship is about building something useful. And let's see. It's building something useful. And when you do that, what happens? People are then willing to pay. So if you don't build something useful, will people pay? So if you build something useful, people are not willing to pay, it's a problem. So it's about getting the 2 conditions right. Build it useful, let people pay. If you don't build, what will happen? If you don't build, several things will happen. 1, you will not be able to create jobs. Because the process of building is a process that creates what? Jobs. Because people have to be involved in the activities involved in building. So building things creates jobs, creates opportunity, creates value, and creates returns. And of course, you know that man is there. So what happens if we do not build? Poverty. And with poverty, what will happen? Conflict. Think about it. If we all had jobs that we went to 5 to 7, 7 to 5 every day, you will not have time to fight on the streets. You won't. You'll be too tired after work, or you'll be too much in a hurry to go to work. You will not. And during the weekends, what will you do? You'll be catching up with family, with events and what have you. You will not have time to be distracted. Entrepreneurs do something. They build comfortable lifestyles for people. And they have aspirations and dreams. So look at that. Look at those things. They are epitomes of things that happen. But all those things you see, they come as a result of some people who have sat down to develop what was not. Can we move on? So the process starts with an idea. The idea takes courage. Someone has an idea. He has courage to leave his comfort zone and run with it. And then what happens? He applies skills that he has to it and creates resources, uses resources. And that turns out to what? To be the entrepreneur. So like I said, ideas. He has courage. He applies his courage to his skills. He looks at the resources he needs to accomplish it. He gets those resources. And that turns out the entrepreneur in him. So if you have ideas, but you lack courage, you will not execute. Now, if you have both and you lack skill, you either go and acquire the skill from someone else, or you have all that. You can't be a one-man guy. You probably need to go and get the resources. And all that together is what turns out to be the entrepreneur and gives him all this value that you see on the right. So, we've talked about this again, the entrepreneur. He has courage. So even if he's the smallest guy in the room, he can take people out. But he has to be courageous and persistent. He has to continuously learn the ABCs of doing that trade. Then beyond that, he has to have the right network and partnerships. Nobody does it alone. You have to have strategic partners and alliances in whatever you do. And at the end of the day, he has to be a great manager of people, because you would accomplish things using people. If you leave a business that is a one-man show, what happens if the person is sick? In short, people who don't want to give you business because they are a risk to them. You are a risk. If you are the only pilot that an airline has, it means they can only fly one plane at a time. There's no backup.